And we're enjoying our music, and now we're ready for the show. Thank you so much for watching Mid-American Gardener. We're glad that you've joined us, and we're here to answer some timely seasonal questions. Hi, my name is Diane Nolan, and I teach horticulture at the University of Illinois in Urbana in the crop sciences department. I have three really outstanding panelists here, and they're going to help answer all of your questions and maybe do some show and tell. So let's find out who is also here with me. Listen to their expertise to direct your questions. Let's start first with Bill Vanderwide. Hi, Bill.
Hello. Yes, my expertise is, I'm a certified arborist. My expertise is trees, basically. And I have an email question from a viewer about sweet gum trees, asking if there's anything one can do to keep sweet gum trees from dropping the balls that they produce and make such a mess in the yard. And yes, indeed, sweet gum trees can be incredibly messy. I've seen some mature trees where you can barely see the lawn for all the fruit that's dropped from the tree. There are some products out there that are essentially plant growth regulators that can stop the development of the fruit. And what they do essentially is stop flower development. I had some experience with one called Florel, and it was a spray that was very difficult because you had to time it with the flowering of the sweet gum, which is maybe like a 1 week window and difficult to see. I had a contractor do some when I was a city forester, and it turned out to be no results whatsoever. It didn't work. There came a product later on. I talked to the individual who was using a product called Pinchers, spelled like Doberman Pinscher. And it was injectable. It was a systemic, so you didn't have to time it. But I also talked to him, and he had very poor results, and I did some checking around. Typically, you might get control from 40 to 60% and spend a good amount of money doing it. And so basically, I'm going to say there's no really good control, unfortunately. Now, I do have a cultivar of sweet gum. I have the sweet gum tree on my left, the normal leaf, and on the right, it's a cultivar called Rotunda loba, which means it has round lobes. This is a seedless sweet gum. And unfortunately, it's probably a little difficult to find. There was some speculation that it could be a little susceptible to cold damage. However, the 4 that I planted on the parkway when I was city forester in our area, which is zone 5B, did quite well, and we had a pretty difficult winter. So I think it's worth trying if you can find it.
If you can find it.
If you can find it.
So
yes.
now, someone up more in the Chicagoland, higher, more northerly climates, they would just have to site it well, do you think?
Yeah, it could be marginal, but it's worth a try. Yeah, mulch it.
Site well.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, 5B is still pretty good.
Yep.
But if there's no sweet gum balls, that's...
And they might produce a fruit or two, but they're not going to produce the hundreds or thousands.
Or thousands.
And they're interesting looking.
Yeah, Rotunda loba.
Rotunda loba.
That is interesting. Thank you, Bill.
You're
I have
welcome.
learned something here today. All right, let's go on next to you, Sandy Mason in the middle.
Hi, I'm Sandy Mason. I'm with the University of Illinois Extension. I'm the horticulture educator for Champaign, Fort Iroquois, and Vermilion counties. And so I take care of all kinds of questions, pretty much anything green and growing in the garden. I'll try to help you out. And my email question actually is about, I think this is really an excellent question because these folks have some white pine trees and they want to know if there are any flowering plants that they can plant under their white pine trees. And they say they'd love to have something that blooms continually.
I
and
would
wouldn't
too.
we all? Wouldn't we all? The trouble is under white pine trees, it's really tough for a couple of different reasons. Is number one that the pine trees, and actually spruces too for the most part, they have very fibrous root systems that tend to be very close to the surface. And so it tends to be not only shade, but really dry shade. So that's tough. Plus the fact, it's certainly with white pines, they drop in a lot of needles. And so there's a certain amount of covering things up. So it's really not the best conditions when it comes to growing a wide variety of plants. So I will tell you it's a very difficult condition. What you might want to do, if this isn't in a windbreak where you really want the limbs to be low to the ground, maybe you could limb them up a little bit, maybe to get a little bit more sun in there. That might help. But I think pretty much what you're going to find, most of the plants that we might talk about, you're going to have to water them periodically. I actually have some hostas underneath a white pine, and they do okay. It's not that you're going to get continuous blooms, but they certainly bloom, and they do all right. Even some of the periwinkle vines that will have some flowers and stuff on them. But I think you're going to find it is going to be one of those difficult areas if you really, really wanted something, especially if you're going to try to do impatiens or anything like that. You're going to have to water them on a regular basis. So I think that's really kind of a tough one to try. So I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts or suggestions on other plants.
One of our professors, Professor Carbonneau, he would have beautiful orange containers of impatiens.
Oh, there you go, underneath the white
And
pines.
he would just place them in, and it was beautiful, but you couldn't really plant down in.
It's
had
really tough
he had
conditions.
ground cover, and it wasn't pines, but it was a fibrous rooted, and planted beautiful containers of bright impatiens.
And I have seen people do a pretty good job of even things like rhododendrons and azaleas on white pines or pines that have been limbed up again, if that's okay. But again, you're going to have to water periodically.
You know, the problem with watering heavily under white pine can be a problem for white pine, though, too.
Oh, but they are not going to like it.
Yeah,
you can
they're
water
not-
to the point where
they're
they don't
not
like
gonna
it.
like that, especially if you're in a
So it's
heavier
tough
soil.
conditions. So it's really tough conditions.
Yeah.
So maybe container or something.
Wonder
I
if you
wish we had a
could
better
do-
answer.
I
but-
do like variegated Solomon seal.
Yeah, I think trying some of
It's
the
attractive all year.
Sure.
It's not blooming continually, but
But
it can
that'd be a
take the
good
fibrous.
suggestion, looking at some variegated plants or some of those, and not rely on flowers to give you that color.
Because ferns will need moisture.
Yeah.
Some of the more dormant like plants might be.
So
able
maybe
to
just kind
handle.
of a trial and error to try
That's
a
a
few
tough
different
question.
things. Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
question,
well, good question, but
but a tough
we don't have
question.
great answers.
Okay, thank you. Well, we have answers, but they're not the answers
They
you want.
Not the answers they want.
Okay. Well, thank you, Sandy. And now I am really happy to introduce someone I have not introduced like this before, Dr. Doug Williams. Congratulations,
congrats.
PhD
Thank you,
in
thank
May.
you, thank you.
And of course, you can tell about your landscape architecture area, but nice to have you here, Doug.
It's good to be here, Diane. And hello, everyone. My expertise is in planting design, your landscape questions, woody plants, etc. We've got a question from one of our gardeners, and they have a question regarding a magnolia that they've had for a number of years. And they said in the last year they've only had 2 blossoms on the plant. And it's about a 6-foot tree, multi-stemmed. And they say it's healthy otherwise. And they're asking about, they've been vigilant in terms of the care they provided, and they're not sure what to do about the blooms. My suggestion is that you probably just need to wait. If it's healthy otherwise, it's leafed out this year, and it looks productive. We've had some dramatic weather in the last probably 3 years or so with the extreme drought, and then sort of a cooler, wet season, and then we've had an extremely cold winter where we had a number of days with 30 below weather, and that has impacted plants. Something we haven't seen in our area for probably about over 2 decades. So that could be some portion of it. Also, if you're looking to fertilize to promote floral production, using a fertilizer with nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus, probably more on the phosphorus side to help produce or encourage more floral production. But other than that, I'd just say wait and continue to be a vigilant caretaker of your magnolia and see what happens next year.
Vigilant caretaker. I really like that. That's
These are their words.
that could be. I think that could be a
appropriate.
title. Like, what do you do? I'm a vigilant
Vigilant
caretaker. I do like that though, and I like that you repeated it. Okay, thank you all. Well, I think we next have a Did You Know segment. Let's go to it next. You can use low-growing ground covers for mulch. Perennials will come up each year right through the spreading ground covers, such as ajuga, vinca, ivy, and etc. The ground covers keep most weeds out, hold in moisture, and you don't have to buy mulch each year. Okay, well, let's move on to the phone lines, and we're going to go to Lee's question about soil, and that's on line 1. Hello, Lee.
Hi, Diane. I am interested in finding out if there's a particular additive that would make fruits sweeter. My particular interests are melons, berries, cherry tree, peach tree, and grapes.
I believe that is cultivar dependent, isn't it? Versus soil. Now, I'm just throwing that out there. Let's discuss it.
Well, I would certainly, if they're growing well, that's certainly
Right,
going
if
to
they're growing
affect
well.
how well they, what the flavor is going to be on them. But I think for that wide variety of plants, I'm not sure that there's necessarily something that you're going to say you can put down and suddenly everything's sweeter. So I think some of it, like you say, is certainly going to be cultivar dependent and how well they're growing. And even the season that we have, depending on what you have, like especially melons and some of those, depending on what the season is, sometimes they tend to be, sweeter than at other times. If they're getting lots and lots and lots of rain, then sometimes they're not as sweet. So I don't know that we can necessarily. It's probably just to be a good vigilant gardener. Was that the terminology?
Vigilant caretaker.
Vigilant caretaker. To be a good vigilant caretaker.
So that it
do
gets
a soil
enough
test.
moisture without over water.
But I just get a good soil test just to find out where the nutrient levels are within your soil, and to make sure that you have good, healthy soil that way. Certainly adding, compost, those kind of things, have good organic matter for most of those plants. They're going to enjoy that. But beyond that, I don't know. There's any magic
caring
formula.
for the soil, like the compost.
Sure.
Not maybe adding a lot of, not chemicals, but adding things that if you build up the soil, I think you're going to get better fruit
Right.
if the weather doesn't sidetrack
Do something
you.
else.
Very interesting question.
Yeah, it is a good
this is the
question.
first time we've had that, so we enjoyed that question. But build your soil and then report back or bring us in a watermelon next year, something like that. I'd appreciate that. That'd be great. Okay, thank you, Lee, for that question. Hope we helped you a little bit. Let's go to line 2 next, and Ree's got a question about trumpet creeper. Hi, did I say your name right?
Yeah, it's close enough.
How do you say it?
Yeah, I have a trumpet vine that's about
Okay.
23 years old, and it did really poorly this year. Do they have a lifespan?
Boy, I wish they did.
Yeah.
Usually people,
I sorry.
thought for sure you're going to say, how can I kill it? Because usually that's what people are saying.
Mine are going nuts this year. So you want the trumpet vine, number one, okay?
So
I
it just
can't-
didn't, and you say it just didn't do well, as in it never thrived even in the springtime? It just never did anything?
Well, it got leaves, kind of. It's usually huge, and it was probably 1/4 of what it normally is. I cut off all kinds of dead branches, and it bloomed, but it's usually, it's up against my privacy fence, and then it goes along my privacy fence for a good 20 feet, and it just looks icky, and the leaves aren't dark green. I have another one that's still doing okay on another fence on the other side, but somebody told me that maybe that it was just too old, and if I cut it back, it would come back.
I don't know about that.
They
I just
do
wonder,
not
they're pretty
seem
hardy,
to
though.
age. They don't seem
They're
to have
hard to
any.
keep down, yeah.
So
Right.
do you think it could have been a winter kill kind
I
of
was
thing?
wondering about that.
I would wonder about winter kill. I'd also wonder about, although I think they're pretty tolerant of really wet areas, aren't they? It's awfully wet. Especially when you say the leaves aren't really very green, because sometimes you'll get the kind of yellowing and stuff on the leaves when it's a really wet area. I don't know. Does anybody?
Gosh, I get them to grow in the shade. They grow in the sun.
Usually
they grow in the.
they sucker up everywhere, and people are trying to kill them half the time.
Yeah, they
So
are.
You're not a vigilant caretaker of your
No,
trumpet
I'm
vine,
a
are
vigilant
you?
trying to not have too many, to uncaretake. But
Yeah.
I would wonder if it's a bit of a winter,
Yeah, that's
maybe a
what
bit
I-
of moisture, too much moisture.
So I certainly wouldn't give up on it.
No,
I
it's-
just. Yeah,
I think it's a wait, and next year it's going to be
Say
better.
prune it and wait.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's going to grow.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think that's the plan. So, and if you want it to cover, then of course that's when it wasn't.
Yeah,
you
then when it
won't
doesn't
want
want
it to do as well as you hope it would. Well, thank you for that question. Let's go next to Kathy's question on line 4, and this is about false indigo, and you want to transplant it. Is that right, Kathy?
Yes, I do. Actually, it's gotten huge. And the kids love the seed pods, the Indian seed pods.
Right.
But I'd like to either move it or split it so that it's a smaller footprint where it is. Is it possible to do that, or do I just have to destroy it?
Now, the plant we're talking about is false indigo, and it gets the size of a shrub,
Yeah,
A big
so
shrub.
a big shrub.
And it's been there for several years now?
Yeah, probably about 10 years.
Wow. Wow. I don't know about that.
I mean, it's
I would
easily,
really hesitate.
3 to 5 feet tall. It's not going to, it really won't, when you transplant it, it's going to get as big again, I think.
From what I've seen, they have a pretty, the Baptisia, and it has a pretty,
Big
they're
root
prairie
system.
plants, so they have an extensive taproot root system. And from what I've always been told is that they're very difficult to transplant because of that
Yes.
taproot. They don't have a lot of fibrous roots, and so they don't recover really well. And that's, unless anybody else has had other experiences, I think it's pretty iffy
Not
on
that
how
bad
well.
from seed.
Yeah.
And you've got the seed pods that were used to shake and make noise, but
you
you may want to, if you move it, you're going to have to move it like a shrub.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little iffy on how well it survives, to be honest with you. I think you probably don't have the best of chances that it's going to survive. But if it's in an area that you just, you don't like where it is, it's not working out well for you, then, my feeling is then sometimes you just go for it and try it.
Sometimes, though, you can find smaller ones underneath the
there you go.
seedlings. So then if you move the big one out, you might have some seedlings you've identified below. We've moved a lot in our perennial garden at school just from seedlings, and I've given a lot away to students. So look for the small seedlings underneath.
Collect some seeds, plant a few seeds. That way you have a
It is a
backup
very
plan.
interesting plant, and there's a lot of new ones out with more purple coloring, bicolors. Of course, some of the native ones are whites and yellows besides the blues and purples. So anyway, that's a
Yeah,
great
good luck.
plant. Baptisia, Baptisia. I love genus names. Okay. All right, let's go on to line 5. And Becky has a hydrangea question for us. Hi, Becky.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
You're
I
welcome.
have a large limelight hydrangea bush, and it bloomed prolifically this summer. I have huge blossoms on it. They're beginning to fade, and I need to know, what do I do for my bush so that I can get it to produce as well again next year? Do I prune it? Do I cut the blossoms off only, or do I prune it back into the bush?
Okay, who wants to tackle a hydrangea question? I'm looking at either
Everybody's
Doug or
going
Bill.
Well,
And either of you can dig in.
well, I guess we can both comment on it.
Right.
I'd say prune it back. You can actually, most times hydrangeas, the flowers are everlasting, so they have some particular characteristics that are of interest outside of the general season. And if you prune it back, you'll keep the habit that you're interested in, and it'll extend itself the following year with its blooms and New Year's worth of growth. So I don't think you can lose with that.
Did you
Or
want
you could just leave it too.
Yeah.
Do nothing. Yeah.
It's been a
Could
good
do it.
year
You could
for
do nothing,
hydrangeas, really.
or prune off, but I've pruned off, and I have some hydrangea flowers at my classroom. So it's really your personal. But if you trim it too much, I think that could be a problem.
And sometimes you can give an assessment of it in the spring if then you could make the decision whether to prune or not, because sometimes it will tell you that it needs to be pruned or that it came through the winter okay.
And this has been one of those perfect summers for hydrangeas.
Yes.
I mean, let's face
Moisture
it.
when needed.
Moisture, the kind of moderate temperatures rather than lots and lots of heat. So we've really had a good year for
Perhaps don't
hydrangeas.
get used to that. I
Yeah,
know.
don't
Yeah,
get used
yeah.
to that.
I
Hopefully
could
the
be wrong.
hydrangea's not used to
Get
that.
spoiled.
We
They
have
do like
that.
moisture. That's
Yes, they do. Well, let's do another phone line. Let's go to line 6. And I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but Waleed, you have a plant question for us? Line 6.
Yes, thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I have had very big trouble, a lot of trouble with raising freesias from bulbs. I followed the instruction on the package. I planted them close to each other. I planted them far apart. I planted them in the pot. I did everything I can every year, and I can never produce any flowers.
And did you say fuchsias?
Freesias, yeah.
Freesias. Oh, freesias. Okay, I think I have the question
Gonna
on
say.
freesia. Freesias are grown, when we grow them, they're grown in a cool greenhouse. It's about a 50 to maybe 55 degree greenhouse. So we basically don't have enough cool extended spring to grow freesias. So they'll do great to start. We start ours in, I think, January in the greenhouse, and then they have that cool time during the spring. So if you could somehow start them indoors and then just be happy with them in the springtime. When it gets past 60s, they don't do as well. And freesias are beautiful, but it is a cool, non-hardy, and a cool crop for the greenhouse. We grow freesias, snapdragons, calla lilies, alstroemeries in the same greenhouse. So that is the issue. Our summers, well, actually, our springs get too warm too fast, and then the summer as well. So freesia, and that's Freesia, and it's a beautiful plant, more of a cut flower for a greenhouse grown. But definitely try it. I'm really glad you tried it. That shows you're a go-getter gardener. Okay, well, let's go, and if you have a quick email, we can do a few emails and maybe get another question on the phone lines. Bill, let's start with you.
Sure, I have another tree question about mimosa tree, and the long and the short of it is they had 2 5-foot mimosa trees that weren't showing any evidence of life this spring, and they live in Moultrie County, which is in Zone 6. Mimosa tree, also called silk tree, is prevalent in the southeast, and we find a little bit of it in our neck of the woods, but we're getting on the margin of cold hardiness. And even in the areas where they are prolific and do well, like in the southeast, say like in Alabama or Florida, they still they are a very temperamental tree, have pest problems, short-lived. One writer said, if you want to make sure it dies, make it a focal part of your landscape and it will die. So they just up and die for no reason, well, obviously for reasons. But I think up in our neck of the woods in Zone 6, and we're at in Moultrie County, you're at the northern edge of Zone 6, we had a really tough winter. And it may sucker from the base. You may get some root growth. But the other suggestion is, in the areas where it is grown, it's considered an invasive. And it's become a problem where it's escaped to natural areas, produces a lot of seed, can sucker from roots. So you might consider using a different species, actually.
So where it grows well, it becomes a problem.
Yes, it does.
And where you want it, it won't grow. Wow, the irony of gardening. Okay, thank you, Bill. That was great. And Sandy, you next.
Well, we have a great question from Jane, who evidently is up in the Chicago area. And she says she's very happy that we're on WYCC out of Chicago, so that's great.
Glad to be there,
She
too.
wants to know, I think this is a great question. She wants to know, is there truly a pink daffodil? She plants pink daffodils, and they always come up orange. And I think that's a great question because sure enough, and we were talking about this, is that sometimes the catalogs, I think, play around with colors a little
look
bit.
At the pretty pink colors in the catalogs.
And they list them as pink charm, and there's a whole bunch of them that are listed as pink. But depending on the temperature, they kind of go this orange to salmon, and then, Diane, as you said, they might be pink briefly for ever so short a period of time as they fade. So a lot of times they come up this kind of orangey, salmony, and then kind of fade to a pink. So that's why they get away with calling them like pink names and stuff. So just to enjoy it and just to realize that you may see these color differences, and that's just perfectly normal, at least at this point when it comes to daffodils and pink.
And they're still working.
And they're beautiful. And they,
they'll still get some pink ones, we hope. Okay, thank you very much. And now to you, Doug.
Hello. We have a email or a response from one of our gardeners who talks a little bit about their concern for establishing some perennial plants. But these perennial plants are from seeds, so they're wondering when is the best time to plant those seeds so that they can overwinter, or at least be able to survive the winter and be prolific the following year. I'd say the sooner the better. I think if you wait until midsummer or even early summer, it may in fact be cutting the time period for the root growth to be established, and also the competition with other plants in the area. If you're planting from seed, you probably have other plants, dandelions, other weeds, chickweed, etc., things that are trying to grow and compete. And it may be hard to distinguish the plants you would like to keep from the weeds. So I would say as early as probably Mother's Day, maybe even late May, but be sure that they're already in the ground. And you may even want to start them indoors so that you can be able to identify some of them if you're concerned about pulling the wrong thing out when you in fact really want to keep certain plants. I'm just thinking of some annual seeds that people throw out, like Cosmos and Bachelor's Button, things like that. Those things are done much earlier so that it has a chance to compete with other things that would like to grow in the space as well. So
And
sooner the
it's
better.
good to start perennials from seed. So that's a very good question. And then I got a $1.29 packet, and I had linen peren or perennial flax, I think 30 plants, and I moved them around. So it's really fun to start. I like to start anything from seed, to tell you the truth. Well, let's go next to our MAG quiz and see what we have for you today. Which animal's manure should you avoid using in your garden? A, dogs, B, horses, C, cows. A, dogs. Manure from animals who eat meat generally is not recommended for use in your vegetable garden. It can cause parasites or other diseases that can be transmitted to humans. Stick to the manure from herbivores like cows and horses. Okay, well, I'll tell you, the show goes really fast. We had interesting questions, and we want to thank each of you folks for all of your questions. Thank you three so much for being on, and we're glad to have all of you, and it kind of is a nice blend of trees and flowers. So we want to thank each of you. We hope you'll join us next week. In the meantime, have a great week gardening. Goodbye.